Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of the Future Mind series, where I speak about the psychology behind future readiness. Let me start by asking you a question. Are you someone who's able to spot trends early on, or are you someone who has to be pulled into those trends once they become mainstream already? Let me help you out a little bit here. Were you one of the early adopters of, say, fitness trackers, sleep rings, continuous glucose monitors? Or are you someone who has been pulled into perhaps one or two of these once they've already become mainstream? What we will speak about in today's episode is actually at the heart of our capacity to be future ready, our ability to detect weak signals. What are signals? Um, Signals are really trends that haven't as yet become mainstream. They give us an indication of how the world might evolve if what today are just emerging trends pick up momentum and start shifting the worlds that surround them. Um, if you're wondering how there are some organizations or some people who are always spot on in being able to predict the future, trust me, it isn't really so much about prediction, although sometimes it is. And it isn't even all about how smart they are, although sometimes they are very smart. But it's more about were they able to spot changes before they became fully mainstream. And that's really at the heart of our ability to sense where the future is headed. So think about this as if you're a surfer or if you've experienced surfing. By the way, I've tried surfing and failed miserably, or boogie boarding, something I'm a little bit better at. Uh, you may have experienced how important it is to understand where the wave is at any given moment. So if you can sense a wave just as it is building up, you can get on the wave and ride it beautifully. But if you don't see it coming, you're underwater and your board is somewhere else. And then, of course, it's a whole other challenge finding that board. But enough about that. So, really, at the heart of this is our ability to see weak signals well before they become mainstream trends. Now, if this is hard for you, by the way, I completely understand. And it's hard because our brains aren't designed to do that. They're not designed to do that for two important reasons. Through most of our evolution, we needed to respond to something that was right in front of us, something urgent, something life threatening. So our brain is designed to focus and notice anything that's likely to cause us danger, and particularly something that's in front of us already. Think about our days as hunter gatherers and just how important this skill would have been. At the same time, we're much slower to notice things that are gradually changing and building up. And that's why issues like climate change, sustainability become so much harder to get attention around. They're slow, they are absolutely real, but they don't grab our attention nearly as strongly. A second reason why our brain finds some of this so hard is that we are designed to pick up information that already confirms our existing beliefs. So anything that is different from what our beliefs today are gets filtered out and we don't even notice. So if you and I are struggling at weak signal detection, it isn't because we aren't smart, it's because our brains weren't necessarily designed to do that. But there's also some good news at the end of it. There are ways in which we can train our mind to be able to become better at spotting weak signals and therefore better at being able to prepare for the future. So, what is it that you can do right after watching this video? Let's start by the first exercise. It's called the Edge Radar exercise, which is reading about trends in fields that are very different from yours at the very minimum. It means about understanding what the geopolitical landscape is, uh, what trends within economics are going to be important, what's developing, what's important there, understanding technology and how that's going to change your world. There's no industry today which will not be affected. And culture. How are people's expectation from the world itself changing? So the first exercise, the Edge Radar exercise, is all about reading beyond your industry. The second exercise is picking any of these emerging trends and then just asking yourself, okay, what happens if this actually becomes mainstream? What happens if this builds? And then what next? And then who loses? Who wins? Where's the opportunity here? So here are 2 simple exercises to get you started. Tell me what you think about them. Thank you so much for watching, and do tag and share with someone who you think